This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, all. Myself, I'm here, and I'm going to be providing training on SAP SD module, and I'm going to be acting as your trainer until the course is going to be completed. I'm going to be the point of contact for this. Okay. So today, I try to basically give you an introduction related to this particular SAP sales and distribution module, what exactly I'm going to be providing through this particular training program and how this particular training program has been designed, what is going to be the concepts on which we are going to be getting trained on, and what are the opportunities as a consultant you're going
Hi,
to be
sir.
getting
Good
it in
morning.
the
Your
market.
voice is breaking, sir.
Please try to check out your internet connection, please. Mine is very good over here.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Please check your internet connection, please. Or just try to reconnect once again. Okay. Uh, So, about myself, I'm having more than 14 years of work experience as an SAP SD consultant, and I've been providing online and offline training on SAP sales and distribution from last 11 years. I'm having good teaching experience. At the same time, I'm acting as a consultant. Right now, I'm playing a role of a senior consultant plus team lead. So I work for an MNC in Hyderabad. I worked for a couple of implementation projects in the past, along with the support environment. And right now, my team size is around 14 members, where I'm basically deploying an specific solution for agro-based chemicals, which is based in Hyderabad. So we are trying to work out with the domestic project at the moment. Okay. And I've been associated with this particular organization for more than 12 years. I've been continuously providing training on sales and distribution module. And apart from that, I also act as a corporate trainer. I train the consultants in the real time as well to make sure they have good hands-on experience before they try to join the project as well. Yep. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be your trainer, and this is going to be the course module on which you're going to be getting trained on. You're going to be getting trained on SAP sales and distribution. Second, you're going to be getting trained on SAP LE module as well, where this LE stands for logistic execution. Okay, so these are going to be two different modules. Please don't get confused that both of them are same. They are going to be two different modules. So one is going to be sales and distribution, and second is going to be SAP LE, where this LE stands for logistic execution. And this particular module is going to be handling all the activities which is required for the shipment and transportation. So part of transportation management activities, we are also going to be working out over here. Okay. And third, you're going to be working in the project workshop. So this particular project workshop has been purely designed to explain what exactly is going to be the role of an SAP consultant working in various projects over here. So let it be part of implementation, how exactly the things are going to be working, what kind of activities we try to play in the support and upgradation project. That is what I'm going to be explaining it over here. This is very important. Understanding the subject is not going to be good enough in cracking the interviews or working in the real time. So you need to basically understand what exactly we do as a consultant in the real time as well. And to support this particular training program, I'm going to be providing you the server access, and this server access is going to be available 24/7. It's going to be an online server where every one of you will be having your own credentials to log into the system and do the practice. And the server is going to be provided almost for 6 months, and it can be extended by another 2 to 3 months as well. So if you ask the admin department, they try to give you an extension of another 3 months as well. And this particular training is going to be performed on S4HANA. And you will be provided server access for S4HANA system as well, which we try to call it as a modern application, the new technology what SAP has introduced. So in SAP, you're going to be having two versions. One, you can work on older version, which we try to call it as SAP ECC, and the new version is going to be SAP S4 HANA. And this particular training I'm going to be performing on S4 HANA. I'm not going to be dealing with ECC. The reason for that, all companies which are using ECC application are going to be upgrading their system to S4 HANA. So this is going to be the future going ahead. That is the reason this training is going to be done on S4 HANA itself. So there are going to be scenarios where we are going to be moving the data from ECC to S4 HANA, because companies which are using old version of SAP, they need to use new version of SAP. We need to move the data from old version to new version. What kind of activities are going to be involved in the data transportation? We are going to be looking into that activities as well. Okay, so that is the reason we are going to be working on S4 HANA application on SAP platform. And to support this particular training program, you will be provided with all class recordings as well. So I'm going to be providing you the access for the class recordings, and this particular access is going to be provided for lifetime. There will be no expiry, or there will be no limited access for the recording. So whenever you want to watch any particular recording, you have the access for that. All recordings are going to be kept in the Google Drive, and it will be shared to you. Okay. And along with that, study material is required, what all books you need to refer. There are going to be certain books I recommend you to read. I'm going to be sharing you the soft copies of that particular books. I have prepared some documents. I'm going to be sharing that particular documents for your reference, along with the screenshots, how to navigate, how to work on that particular screens, how we are going to be running a particular business process into SAP. And there are going to be some real-time documents as well. I'm going to be sharing it up. This is going to be purely for your reference in the real time, how we are going to be documenting it, so that you will be having the exposure for the real-time activities we try to perform as well. And about the job assistance. Now, I'm going to be helping out with the resume preparations. I'm going to be helping you with the resume preparation by providing you some of the samples resume where there is a chance of getting a job is going to be high, or cracking interview is going to be high. I provide you the samples. Based on that particular sample resume, you need to prepare your own resume. And if you share that resume to me, I'm going to be conducting the mock interviews. Almost around 2 to 3 mock interviews are going to be conducted, where I try to basically analyze your skill set, how much knowledge you're having, how you are trying to design your resume, how you are trying to keep the points related to the project, and you're trying to appear for the interviews. So I help you for your interview preparations as well. Okay, so what all questions they ask on each topic related to sales, I'm going to be explaining it I'm going to be sharing you all that FAQs. You can read it, get to know, and you can prepare yourself. And this particular training program is going to be also helping you to work for the certification as well. So how exactly the certification process is going to be done, which will be conducted by SAP Labs. I'm going to be giving you all that particular questionnaires and answers. You can read it, you can understand the pattern in which you are going to be attending the certification process as well. Okay. And jobs, I can't guarantee you. It's totally dependent upon your skill set, upon your hard work, how you are going to be cracking the interview. If any job references are there, I'm going to be helping you out. But I can't guarantee that you will be placed by me. You need to do your homework. You need to search for the jobs. Okay. And before we try to get into the deep dive process of sales and distribution, there are going to be few things which I'm going to be discussing as part of SAP. And then we try to get to know what all going to be the concepts we try to work as part of sales and distribution, job opportunities, and what exactly we try to perform in the project orientation. These are the four things which I'm going to be covering in this particular session today. Okay. Now, I hear a lot of people calling it as SAP. Please don't call it as SAP. We have an abbreviation maintained for that. And where this SAP stands for System, Application, and Products, which is going to be used in data processing. System, application, and products used in data processing. And we are going to be calling it as an ERP software. Now, this is a big, massive software which has been deployed in the market. A lot of companies in the world is using SAP application to make sure the business process is going to be running very effectively. So there are a lot of manufacturing companies, trading companies, and service oriented companies which is using SAP application for smooth business transaction and process need to be mapped up. And the reason why companies are trying to use this particular ERP software for three major reasons. Reasons to use SAP application. One, to record day-to-day transactions. Whatever transactions they happen in the business, they want to keep a record of it. Second, for report generations. By default, when you try to use SAP application, you will be provided to work or access with 5,000 plus standard reports. If the standard reports are not fulfilling the business requirement, we can even customize the reports based on the business need, based on the company need. And third, we are going to be using this particular application for data analysis as well. These are the three major reasons why companies want to use this particular software: to keep a record of day-to-day transaction, reports, and for data analysis. And when we try to talk about this SAP, it's having a good market across the globe. A lot of big companies are trying to use SAP for their business. Okay. And in SAP, you're going to be having different solutions. Okay. So it's not that SAP is a standalone software which is available in the market. We have different solutions which has been designed in SAP based on industry verticals. We have a separate solution designed for pharmaceuticals, for retail, for fashion, for apparel industry, for footwear industry, for mill industry. SAP is having a big market across the globe. Okay. So that is the reason it's a well-known software why company want to use it. And in SAP, you're going to be having different modules to work out. So normally what happens, your SAP is going to be divided into three areas to work. One, we try to call it as functional modules. Second would be technical modules. And third is going to be IS solutions. So people who come from non-coding background, who's having no experience in coding, they can get into the functional side of SAP. Okay. So people who come from marketing background, procurement background, production background, they can get trained on the functional modules and they make their career as IT consultant. Now, and this functional module is going to be divided into three areas. One, it has logistics. When we hear this particular term logistics, we think that it will be handling only the activities related to shipment and transportation, but that is not going to be the case in SAP. The logistics is going to be a combination of sales and distribution, material management, customer service, customer relationship management. We have supply chain management, transportation management. We have warehouse management, production planning, plant maintenance, quality management. All these are going to be part of your logistic modules to work. Okay. So again, you are going to be having a different module, FIC. So people who come from finance background, they can get trained on FICO and they can work on SAP. So these are going to be a combination of two modules put together. We call it as FI stands for financial accounting. FI stands for financial accounting, which take care of company account receivables and account payables. They keep a track of all incoming payments and outgoing payments. And you're going to be having CO module, where the CO module, we call it as controlling. And this particular module is going to be handling product costing. They try to fix up the price. They handle maintaining the price of the product. At what price the product is going to be manufactured, at what price the product need to be sold, that is going to be controlled by the CO department. So finance is a different module and CO is a different module to work. And you're going to be having third area to work on the name of HC. In normal terms, we call it as HR, but in SAP, we name it as HCM, Human Capital Management, which take care of your total time management activities. Payroll related activities will be handled by this particular module. Okay, so here there is no coding involved at all. So people who is not having any kind of coding experience, people who is having experience working in any of these streams, they can pick functional modules, they get trained and they can work. Whereas when we try to talk about technical modules, there is going to be coding which is going to be getting involved over here. And we have a language on the name of ABAP. If you want to develop any particular screens in SAP, the code need to be written in this particular language. Then we have a module called as basis. So this basis is going to be responsible for your total SAP software installation. Software installation will be handled by them. Server maintenance will be handled by them. User authorizations also will be handled by them. Because in a business, you are going to be finding all users will be not given access to work with all the screens. That will be handled by the base system. And we have one more module, HANA, which is going to be the database management, DB. So whatever data we try to maintain in SAP is going to be getting stored in this particular database called as HANA. So you're going to be having technical people who will be handling your total database management activities. And as I mentioned, next area to work is going to be IS solution. These are going to be the advanced modules. So where this IS stands for industry specific solution. Now, SAP has provided solution for different industry verticals. You have a separate solution designed for the pharmaceutical companies, for the retail sector, for milk, for oil and gas. Name any company in the world, all oil and gas companies are using SAP. Let it be Shell, BP, Indian Oil, ONGC, Reliance, everything is running their business using SAP. And we have a separate solution provided for the mill industry. Mill is nothing but wire and cable. We have a solution designed for that particular sector as well, for banking operations, for real estate. We have solution design. So if you want to get trained on any of these particular modules, if you want to work on these modules, you need to have good functional exposure. Without having functional exposure, you cannot work on this particular areas.
Sir, your voice
And
is breaking, sir.
so please check your internet connection. I just mentioned it earlier as well. Other people can hear me properly?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
we are able to hear you properly. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this is going to be one area which is going to be really interesting and to get good hands-on experience on. Okay. Now in today's session, as we are here to get trained on SAP sales and distribution. Now when we try to talk about this SD module, what exactly we are going to be working on? What are going to be the key areas you need to get trained to crack or work in the real time? Now, when I'm trying to talk about the sales and distribution as a module, there are going to be a lot of things we are going to be focusing on related to the company business process. If any company need to sell any particular product, they require this particular module need to be implemented. And when we talk about sales, the sales team is going to be responsible for selling the products of the company. Whatever product company want to sell it, that will be handled by the sales department. And you're going to be having distribution department as well, which will be handling the logistics, where the companies are going to be making sure the product is going to be delivered to the customer on time. So that is what you mean by this particular term called as sales and distribution. You may be hearing a good one as well. Hello, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Just give me a second. Okay, so this is what you mean by this SD module. So sales will be handling the entire sales process, and distribution, we try to make sure the products are going to be delivered to the customer on time. So basically this module is going to be handling three areas. One, order management, where we try to check out how sales orders are going to be created and it is processed. Second is going to be delivery processing, activities related to the delivery. And third, we work with billing activities as well. What are the steps involved in issuing or raising a billing document? These are going to be the three areas we try to focus on. And apart from that, the fourth submodule we try to deal with is going to be pricing. What are the steps involved in charging the customer for a particular product? So how we are going to be calculating the price, discounts, surcharges. We try to basically discuss all that things along with the taxation process. Because in India, we are trying to work with GST and on different materials we have different GST percentage which will be collected. So how this tax configuration is going to be done, practically we are going to be checking it out. And apart from that, run a business successfully, there is going to be integration skill set which is required as well for that. We are going to be looking into integration skill set as well, where we try to discuss how sales is going to be working with your FI department. There's going to be one area. How sales is going to be working with team. That is going to be another area. How sales is going to be working with production department. How sales is going to be working with basis, and how sales is going to be working with ABAP integration. These are all going to be the different areas where we are going to be focusing on. It's not that we are going to be getting good experience looking only the sales process. We try to basically understand if you want to run any sales transaction, we require a lot of skill set working with this particular team. Because in a business, you're going to be finding sales team cannot work independently. We required a lot of data which need to be getting up from different areas. We work with all of them. So that is what we are going to be looking as part of integration skill set functionality. And where exactly the skill set is required? When you try to understand and look sales life cycle. So when I'm trying to talk about the sales life cycle, there are going to be activities related to pre-sales, sales, after sales. We have the concept of complaints, or we call it as post-sale activities. And next area would be accruements. These are the four areas where we are going to be focusing on. Okay, pre-sales, sales, complaints, and accruements. Now, before we try to get into deep activities performed in sales, I'm just trying to explain the sales business process, what companies are going to be following it up. So where the process is going to be starting with the sales order. I'm not trying to talk about the pre-sales. I'm just trying to talk about the sales over here directly, where we are going to be receiving an orders from the customer. And as soon as we receive an orders, company will be delivering the product. And once this delivery activity is performed, we are going to be raising a billing document. And with reference to this particular billing document, we try to go for collection of the payments, which we name it as incoming payments. This is what we are going to be looking after. So how to record this particular transaction on SAP platform, how sales orders are going to be recorded, how delivery activities are going to be done, billing along with incoming payments. And to run this particular cycle, there is a lot of data are required from different modules. And that is what we are going to be covering as part of this particular training, working in all these particular areas. Okay. So when we try to talk about this particular order management process, this is what we are going to be looking and understanding it. Steps involved in delivering the stock, steps involved in billing, steps involved in incoming payments activity. So this course is going to be designed for basically 4 months, where first 3 months we are going to be going through all the system configurations, where I'm going to be teaching you how we are going to be building SAP application from the backend. Okay, it's not going to be front end we try to look after. We work on the backend. We try to build the application. How companies want to use SAP as a consultant, we are going to be collecting their data, and we try to study, and we are going to be building the application accordingly. So that is the reason in SAP you're going to be having two screens to work. One, we call it as front-end application, and second, we name it as back-end application. You're going to be having two screens, front-end and back-end. Front-end, we try to purely use it to record day-to-day transactions, creation of orders, delivery, billing, incoming payments. These are all what we try to call it as day-to-day activities performed in the business. Backend, we try to build the software. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing on the backend, how to build the software, and once you build the software, how you are going to be working on the front-end application for recording the transaction. You're going to be looking into the backend process as well as front-end. But where you're going to be getting a job, you're going to be looking the job working in the backend, not on the front-end. Because the pay scale, people who work on the front-end is going to be very limited. They don't have much to work on SAP. They just try to sit in front of SAP application and they try to feed the data entry jobs, you can call it as. So the growth opportunities are very minimum, not much, whereas backend is going to be immense. So that is what we try to look. What is going to be the job role of a consultant? There are going to be two job roles. What is going to be the job role of SAP consultants and end users? So people who work on the front-end application of SAP, we are going to be calling them as end users. People who work on the backend, we name them as consultants. And again, you're going to be finding technical consultants, functional consultants. We are going to be playing a role of a functional consultant. We don't act as a technical, we act as a functional consultant. And that is what this particular training program has been designed over here, where you're going to be given access to work with both the screens. You're going to be gaining the knowledge, how you're going to be building the software, and how you test it, how you map the functionalities as well. And when we try to talk about the project workshop, what exactly I try to cover as part of this project workshop. Now, once you get trained on SAP Sales and Distribution module as a core subject matter expertise, we need to basically understand the job roles of SAP consultant to handle the project. What is the skill is required to handle the project? So there are going to be different projects on which you are going to be working. One, we name it as implementation project, or you can call it as greenfield implementation. If any company want to use SAP for the first time, how you are going to be building that particular software to map the business requirements? That is what we are going to be understanding. Second, we call it as upgradation project or migration project. What are the steps involved in migrating the data? That is what we try to look after, because a lot of companies are using ECC application, and we are going to be moving the data from old version to the new version, which is going to be S4HANA. What are the steps involved in migrating the data from old version to the present system? We try to learn that one over here. And third, we try to work in the support environment or support project. So how you are going to be providing support for the business requirements? That is what I'm going to be explaining it in this project workshop. Okay, There are going to be a lot of things which we try to cover over here, where we try to work with SAP system landscape. When we work in SAP world, you're going to be having 3 servers to work. One, we call it as development server. Second, quality server. And third is going to be production server. Any project you try to take it up, let it be implementation, support, or upgradation, you're going to be having 3 servers. What exactly we try to in each and every server, I'm going to be giving you that knowledge, and I'm practically be showing you the system landscape we have in the real time. Third, we try to follow, understand the methodologies used for SAP implementation. If any company want to use SAP, what is the process you're going to be following it for development? That is what we try to look after, methodologies. Fourth, as I mentioned, we are going to be working out with the data migration activities. We work with data migration tools. So, which is basically used to move the data into SAP system from non-SAP application. For example, if any company is not using SAP and they want to move to SAP, so what are the tools you're going to be using for moving the data? That is what we try to look after. And fifth, we try to work out with the testing process. Once you develop the application, what kind of testing we are going to be doing it up? How we are going to be checking out the system readiness? That is what we try to look after over here. There is going to be a lot of things which we are going to be working as part of this particular project workshop, and this is going to be done for 30 hours. So first 3 months you are going to be completed with your sales and distribution module training, and remaining 30 hours, 1 month, I'm going to be focusing only on the project. So what exactly you're going to be doing in the project environment, what is the skill set you need to acquire is what we try to look after. Without this, if you want to crack a job, it is going to be highly impossible. So this is going to be a niche area to work on SAP application. Okay. So that is how the training program has been designed to give you a complete knowledge and system understanding. It is going to be totally practical oriented training. It is not going to be like a theoretical thing what we are going to be looking after. It's going to be practical. Every day we are going to be having a class which will be scheduled for almost around 60 to 90 minutes. And I'm going to be practically showing how to run SAP application. There are going to be different business process. We try to work it out. Business process, we try to work out with business scenarios. Now, for example, we try to look into an activity called as order to cash cycle. How you're going to be offering free goods, how pricing activities are going to be done. So how we are going to be raising an invoice. Activities related to shipment and transportation. We try to look into that. Inventory management. How we are going to be handling the stock. We work with the production team. How the manufacturing activities are going to be performed. Requirement gathering or requirement passing is what we try to look after. We try to basically transfer the sales requirement to the production team for manufacturing. And we try to work out with the finance related to all incoming payments. That is what we try to look in SAP. Sales and distribution, working with different business process and scenarios. So this particular integration skill set is very much required for us because each module is going to be doing different activities. So with finance module, we are going to be working out with the concept of AR, account receivables. We work with FSCM credit management functionality. So in case if company want to offer goods on credit, how to fix up the credit limit of the customer. So in case if customer is not doing the payment on time, then how it need to be blocked. We try to look into that one. We work with rebates. We work with taxes, tax calculation. That is going to be with FI integration area. When we work with material management, we try to understand inventory management, how this team will be handling the stock, how to work with stock transfers, how to work with trading scenarios, buying and selling. What are the steps involved in buying the product and selling the product in the market? How that activities need to be mapped into SAP? We get to know that particular concepts. When we work with production team, we are going to be looking into an activity called as availability check. Stock availability check. If you require any particular product stock which need to be manufactured, how sales team is going to be communicating with the production team related to that particular product. So stock requirement functionalities is what we are going to be working with production department. Basis, this is a technical module. We use this particular team for data transportation. If you want to move the data from one system to another system, the steps involved in it, and apart from that, user authorizations. So how you are going to be communicating with the basis team for user authorizations? We try to work it out. And ABAP for the screen developments. So sometimes what happens, business give us a requirement, and for that particular requirement, we don't have a standard solution available. So how we are going to be working out with this ABAP department for the developments. These are the areas we need to be expertising in it. If you want to have a good package, then this particular skill set is going to be very much required apart from your sales. So we are going to be working out with core sales process. Then we are going to be working with this particular thing. We work with core sales. We work with integration skill set. That is how your total training program has been designed. And this is what we are going to be covering it up from day one onwards. Okay. And when I'm talking about this job opportunities, how you are going to be landing up or how you are going to be making your career, you're going to be starting yourself as an SAP SD consultant. Okay. And you can become SAP analyst. You can become SAP senior analyst. Then team lead, followed by project lead. Last and final one is going to be your delivery manager. This is how you're going to be molding your career. These are going to be the different levels you can work in SAP world. And when you want to become a senior analyst or a team lead or working in these particular areas, you need to make sure you have good understanding working in 4 to 5 different modules. You can't restrict yourself working in one area as an SD consultant. You need to gain knowledge working on different modules and you need to grow. Then only your pay scale is going to be very high. And going ahead, please try to make sure you be certified. write the exam what SAP is trying to conduct, get passed, and be a certified consultant. If you have that SAP certification, pay is going to be high. So companies will be looking for the people who are certified, and you will be getting a good pay as well. Okay, that is going to be one area you need to be concentrating as well. So you can do the certification after completion of the course, or once you get a job, you can go for it. It's totally depend upon you. So this is a small introduction related to this program, what I'm going to be doing it up. So where I've given you the total information, how this particular training program has been designed, what is going to be the outcome of it, and the areas where we are going to be working as part of sales and distribution module. And next thing, the classes is going to be every day, Monday to Saturday, where the class will be lasting for almost around 60 to 90 minutes. And practical oriented things are what we are going to be looking. And there are going to be certain assignments which you need to work as well. When I'm trying to talk about job assistance, I'm going to be providing you some task which you can call it as real-time issues. There are going to be assignments which I'm going to be providing it to you. You need to work on that particular assignments or the issues. Reason for that, these things we try to portray in our resume. Because in interviews, they will be asking us what are the challenges you have faced in the current project. So you need to have that explanation, how you are going to be putting down that information. For that, these things are going to be helping you out. Now, let's say you have almost around 30 to 40 concepts on SD module. What exactly the possible questions you get, assignments, I'm going to be sharing that one. So that will be helping you for a deep understanding on the subject and to crack the interview. So how much knowledge 3 to 4 years experience consultant is having in the real time, that I try to share from this particular training. Okay, that is the best thing I can do it. You will be having good understanding, and people who is having no experience can become experienced from this particular training program. This is going to be purely done from basic to advanced. From scratch level, I'm going to be starting up this particular training, and how much knowledge a 4 years consultant is going to be having, that I'm going to be putting down or showcasing in this particular program. So this is what I wanted to explain, how this particular training is going to be done. And I hope you guys were able to follow the things what I've tried to put down in presentation today. And you have any queries or any questions you want me to give an answer, do let me know. I can help you out with that. Anything you need from my end, which need to be explained, do let me know.
Yes, this is Pranit, Mr. Jaram.
Hi, Pranit. Yeah.
I just want to know how the things will work out. I have 4 years experience in sales. I just want to continue my career in the SAP SD model after that. So just want to put a 4 years experience. So the process and everything, any you can like interview and everything. Can
So
you
you want
explain?
to showcase yourself as a 4 years of work experience on SAP
Yes,
SD.
yes, yes. Yes. As of now, I'm an end user of SAP in our organization.
Yeah, you can show that one, not a problem.
But I like, how can I get the consultant with experience of 4 years? Like, is there any possible?
See, like here you can see I'm going to be training you how to build the application from the backend. So once you get trained on SAP SD module,
Yes.
I'm going to be providing you a project. In that particular project, what exactly you're going to be doing in the real time, that I'm going to be putting down over here. So you need to attend the project workshops. You need to work on the system rigorously, get hands-on experience, and you can crack the interview as an experienced consultant. Any other questions, guys?
What are the current opportunities for the freshers in the role of SD consultant?
Now, there are going to be limited opportunities working on. There are a good number of openings, what I can see in the market. So MNCs are trying to recruit freshers as well. So package is going to be less, but if you are okay with the packages they offer, better to get into it.
Good morning, sir. My name is Ashok. I'm working in
Yep.
a sales department, sir. A medical representative as a manager, 6 years experience.
Okay.
Moved on to this 3 years experience. Put on the field, sir.
Ashok, can you please repeat it once again? I didn't
I'm
get you
working in as a
properly.
medical representative, sir. FDC company, pharma company, as a representative, as a manager.
Okay.
So, using that experience, SAP SD, sir.
Your pharma experience cannot be used over here. Your domain experience cannot be used in SAP. So you need to showcase by putting some experience. You have work experience on SAP application and you need to get into the market. That's how it's going to be working, because like they don't consider your domain experience. They will be checking how much experience you have on SAP application.
That experience used or not, sir? That
Sorry?
this medical field experience used or not, sir?
No, it cannot be used. That is what I'm saying. You need to project that you have, instead of having that particular experience, what you have, you need to showcase that you have a hands-on experience working on SAP and you need to hit the market. As a fresher, you can use that particular experience. Or if you are getting into SAP as an experience, that cannot be used.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. It's going to be the same thing. Like here, what is happening? So people will be having that particular queries, whether we need to get into it or not. There are going to be two ways of getting into the market. One as a fresher, one as an experienced person. As a fresher, if you're okay with the company packages, what they try to offer, you can jump in. Or no, you're not able to compromise with the packages. You need to showcase some experience and then only you can get into SAP. There is no other option, because no companies will be hiring if you're having only domain experience, not SAP experience. As a fresher, they will be taking you, but they pay a small package. But if you're certified consultants, the criteria is going to be met, because company every year they need to show how many certified consultants they hold it. That is a prerequisite companies need to have if they get license from SAP. So that is going to be the reason I'm asking you people, once you complete your training program, get certified, where the opportunities are going to be high. And training cost is not going to be immense. They charge you almost around 18,000 rupees per attempt. You can crack that particular certification and you can land up. If you're a certified consultant, the pay is going to be high. As a fresher, you can get almost around 6 to 7 lakhs, which is equivalent to the amount drawn by a 3 years consultant in the real time at the moment. Okay, so that is one area you can focus on as well. Okay, so I'm just trying to stop it over here for today. So in the next class tomorrow, I try to basically show you the system navigation, how you're going to be working out on the system. As a consultant, on which screen we try to work it, end users will be working on which screen. And I'm going to be giving you a good explanation. And after the class, you can get the server access as well. Start working out on the system. So to get to know how to use it. And based on that, we try to go on with the subject related to SD module. Okay. So I'm just trying to stop it over here for now. It was nice meeting you all. If
Hello.
you have still any queries which need to be addressed, please try to drop me a message or give a call back so I can give you all the
Hello.
answers for your replies. Yep.
Sir, I have doubt.
Yep.
I had 2.7 years of experience in non-IT field that is related to solar. So that experience is we have putting in SAP side. That is possible.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. In 2.7 years of experience, the calls is coming or not? How many minimum
We have
how
calls
many
for
years?
that 2.7 years of experienced people as well. The criteria as an experience would be around 2.5 to 5. It depends how much years of experience you want to showcase.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be the minimum you have. 2.5 onwards people are looking for it. So companies will
Okay.
be giving you, and what do you say, in the JD they mentioned people who's having experience from 2.5 years on SAP, we are going to be hiring them. From 2.5 to 5 you can appear for the interviews. If you are trying to project more than 4 plus or 5 plus years of work experience, then the training which I'm going to be doing is not going to be helping you out anyway, because 5 years experience consultant will be having different set of things which will be asked. So that is one thing you need to keep in mind.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, right. Thank you guys. Meet you tomorrow where I try to give you system navigation functionality and we try to work it out.